Chapter 1. A Whisper from Seclusion. The interview room was softly lit, the muted glow creating an ambiance both intimate and reverent. Just a few chairs sat around a small coffee table, its surface littered with sheets of paper and gently burning candles. It was a setting designed to make even the most renowned figures shed their layers, to reveal the subtler hues of their humanity. This was the environment into which John Lennon stepped, the iconic musician whose music had shaped generations, now leaning toward peace and introspection. In the late 1970s, Lennon had receded from the limelight, retreating into a quieter life with his partner Yoko Ono and their young son Sean. Yet, as he settled into the comfortable chair, there was a sense of anticipation in his eyes, a readiness to emerge once more into the public consciousness. The interviewer, an esteemed journalist from a leading music magazine, adjusted his seat, eager yet respectful, for what was bound to be an extraordinary interaction. The first question was gentle, a dip into the waters of Lennon's experiences with fame. As he began to recount those early days in Liverpool, his voice carried the rhythm of memories both fond and turbulent. He recalled the clubs where sweat and music mingled, the narrow streets filled with dreams as they harmonized with the hum of cars and distant whistles of trains. Each word painted the picture of a young man who could never have imagined the world he was about to step into, how it would shape and shake him.
Lennon's eyes wandered to the flickering candle flames as he spoke of the immense fame that followed. It was overwhelming at times, he admitted, a tidal wave that swept every aspect of his life into a chaotic swirl. Yet, from that chaos, emerged a deeper understanding of self, a transformation that molded his views on life and identity. He spoke of the personal growth that fame had spurred, the introspection that it demanded, and ultimately, how it led him to seek peace within.
As the session transitioned from the broad strokes of fame to the intricacies of his creative process, Lennon's demeanor changed subtly, a spark igniting. This was an area where he was both vulnerable and invincible, where mistakes became stepping stones and successes felt entirely his own. The interviewer pressed gently on how these processes unfolded, how the melodies and lyrics came alive in his mind.
Lennon smiled, a genuine warmth pouring through his words. Ideas could come at odd moments, sometimes rudely interrupting his sleep, he shared with a touch of humor. Songs could start as mere whispers within, requiring quiet moments of solitude to unfurl fully. He described how collaboration with his fellow Beatles had been a dance, a synergy fueled by camaraderie, and the occasional spark of tension. The magic, he mused, often lay in those very contrasts.
Yet, every tale of harmony bore shadows of discord. As he spoke of challenges faced within the music industry, the struggles of balancing artistic integrity with commercial pressure came to the fore. The industry, for all its glitz and allure, posed a labyrinth of challenges, demanding navigation with care and determination. Lennon's experiences, colored by both triumph and frustration, echoed the journey of many artists trying to find their voice amid a cacophony of external demands. The conversation danced seamlessly through topics, with Lennon candidly acknowledging his sometimes controversial stances. He explained the internal and external pressures that shaped his political views, the deep-seated belief in activism that permeated much of his work. If some saw it as contentious, to Lennon it was a natural extension of his art, a reflection of a world he hoped to see transformed. As dusk shifted into evening, the room seemed to hold its breath, absorbing the tales from a voice that had so often laid bare the truths of love, conflict, and longing. This exploration into Lennon's thoughts was more than a mere interview. It was an unveiling, a candid encounter where the man behind the music revealed facets of his heart and mind with each question posed and answered. Chapter 2. Harmony in Contrast. As the discussion deepened, questions veered towards the relationship that most intrigued the public and critics alike, his partnership with Yoko Ono. Though the world often looked upon their union with skepticism, Lennon saw it as a profound and transformative bond. It was not just a personal relationship, but an artistic collaboration that enriched his creative haven, a muse from which inspiration flowed in complex, fluid patterns.
In describing how Yoko had entered his life like a vibrant stroke on the canvas of his existence, Lennon's voice carried notes of admiration and surprise. Their connection, he explained, transcended conventional understanding, built on shared philosophies, and a mutual yearning for expressing truth through art. He laughed lightly, dispelling myths of the controlling figure often painted by the media, articulating instead the interdependence and interplay that fueled their work together.
His eyes, warm and thoughtful, glimmered with fondness as he recounted anecdotes of their shared journey. The infamous bed-ins for peace, for instance, were not merely acts of protest but profound statements of their collective vision, a testament to the simplicity of love and the audacity of peace. With Yoko, Lennon found a partner who challenged him, expanded his horizons, and nurtured a side of him that sought deeper connection and meaning. The topic inevitably shifted to the subject of fatherhood, a chapter that had brought Lennon both profound joy and some uncertainty. Raising Sean in the public eye was a responsibility layered with challenges, yet also flooded with precious, irreplaceable moments. His expression turned softer, voices gentle in reminiscing about the innocence of Shauna's laughter and the weight of a simple bedtime story.
Fatherhood brought Lennon a reprieve, a grounding force amidst life's frenzy. It was through this role that he discovered a fundamental truth about the balance of work and life. There was a certain fulfillment, he explained, in those quiet moments spent with his familia, a kind of peace that fame and achievements could never replicate. These experiences taught him patience, and the art of being truly present, gifts he cherished tenfold.
The interviewer, noting the sincerity in Lennon's reflections, inquired about his enduring philosophy on life and its many tempestuous turns. Here was a man who carried the world's expectations on his shoulders, yet still found space to nurture internal growth and tranquility. Lennon paused, the candlelight casting a soft glow across his face.
To live, he said, was to embrace the balance of contradiction, love and fear, joy and sorrow. Life was a complex tapestry, with each thread filled with the potential to heal or hurt. It was love, he insisted, that ultimately triumphed. Fueled by the belief in a united humanity, Lennon's vision for peace extended beyond anti-war protests to deeper societal change, urging people to reflect on their intrinsic connections.
As the dialogue flowed, the texture of Lennon's persona became increasingly vivid. There was a sense of resolution in his words, as though each answer stitched together different elements of his life story, a quilting of dreams, experiences, and realizations. The complexities of his personality unfolded with a natural grace, offering glimpses into a mind that had dared to both question and create. When asked about the future of music, Lennon's eyes sparkled with foresight. Music, he prophesied, was an evolving entity, a living pulse that constantly redefined itself. Though platforms and methods might change, the soul of music would persist, a universal language transcending barriers, a force for echoing hope, unity, and transformation. His talk of hopes for a more harmonious global community seemed to ring with a timelessly optimistic tone, a beacon for what humanity could aspire to achieve. He encouraged others to take those messages held within melodies to heart, to work for change in whatever capacities they could, however small they seemed. Chapter 3: Conclusion of a Journey Shared. As the session stretched toward its crescendo, it left behind a trail of insights, humor, and palpable sincerity, an enthralling narrative